Hello, welcome to AnAuraChicBeauty channel. Today I'm doing a spring-summer makeup tutorial inspired by the makeup that you see in Fashion Week, but making it a little bit more wearable. I'm using a few products from M.A.C Strength Collection and Studio Collection. I'm focusing on the brows, making them look really dark and defined, but keeping the rest of the eye makeup minimal. Then I'm pairing it with a matte bright lipstick, dewy skin, and contour cheeks. Let's get started. To keep it modern and less of a heavy look, since I'm already doing dark brows and a bold lip, I'm going to keep the skin looking light and natural. So today I'm using Face and Body Foundation in the shade C1. It's a water-based foundation, so the formula is very light. So I'm just going to pour a bit of it onto the back of my hand. And make sure you shake the product well, because sometimes the products tend to separate. And I'm just going to use my fingers to apply all over. It has very thin consistency, so it's very easy to blend, and it gives sheer to medium buildable coverage. I applied one layer of foundation and let it set for a bit. Now I'm going to apply another layer just on the areas where I need a little bit more coverage. This formula is water resistant and long wearing, so it's a great everyday foundation to give a natural look. To cover spots and dark circles under my eyes, I'm going to use the Pro Conceal and Correct palette in Light. It's a palette that contains 6 studio finish concealers, 4 of which are skin tone shades, and then 2 on the bottom which are corrector shades. And this is great because you can use them individually or mix the colors to get the perfect match. And not only is it great for professional makeup artists to use on various skin tones, but you can also use it for personal use. It's great for travel. You have everything that you need in one palette. And so first I'm going to use the NC20 shade, which is right here, to cover up any blemishes and spots that my Face and Body Foundation didn't cover. And I'm using my 286 brush to apply. I'm also covering up any redness around the nose. By using a sheer foundation and then concealer on just where you need it, you risk the look of your makeup looking too heavy and unnatural. Then I'm going to use the pale pink color, which is going to help correct the dark circles under my eyes. So I'm just going to concentrate it on the inner corner. With the W10 shade, I'm going to go over the pale pink corrector and apply it under my eyes just to add a little bit of brightness. To set my concealer and to help blend in the color a little bit better into my skin, I'm going to use the Mineralize Skinfinish Natural Powder in the color Light Plus with my 138 brush, and just lightly dust it under my eyes and anywhere else that I use concealer. I still want to keep the dewy finish, so I'm not going to powder all over. For my eyeshadow base, I'm going to use a Paint Pot in the color Soft Ochre. It's a pale yellow cream color. I'm going to apply it with my 252 brush and just blend that from the lash line all the way up to the brow bone. Before I fill in my brows, I'm going to go back to using the Pro Conceal and Correct palette and use the pale yellow color with my 252 brush and apply it under my brow bone, or on my brow bone, under my brows and above my brows. And this is going to not only lift the brow, but it's also going to make my brow shape a little bit more defined, which is the look that I'm going for. And just make sure to blend it in. To fill in my brows, I'm going to use the eyebrow pencil in the shade Stud. It's a dark black and brown, and even though I'm going for a strong brow, I don't want it to look like I tattooed it on or used a Sharpie, so I'm just using light feather strokes to fill them in. To help blend in the pencil and to keep the brows in place, I'm going to use Clear Brow Set and just brush them through. The first eyeshadow I'm going to use is Brule. It's a matte cream color. I'm applying it with my 217 brush all over the eye to set the paint pot and to also even out the skin tone. Obviously this color matches my skin tone pretty closely, but if you are darker skin, then you of course want to use a color that matches your skin tone. Or you can also use a face powder to even it out. I was applying it from lash line all the way up to the brow. To add subtle definition to my crease, I'm going to use Wedge eyeshadow. It's a matte beigey taupe. I'm applying it with my 224 brush, which is a perfect brush because I want the definition in my crease, but since I'm only using one color, I want to make sure that it's well blended, so it's nice and fluffy and has a tapered tip to fit right in the socket and to help blend at the same time. And so I'm just going to apply this all over the crease, just sweeping it back and forth, and then making sure to blend it out to diffuse the color. I'm also going to sweep the color under my eye, just a tiny bit for definition. For my brow bone highlight, I'm going to use Blanc type eyeshadow. It's a matte ivory color. It's a little bit lighter than the Brule eyeshadow, and I'm using my 239 brush just to pat it right on the brow bone. Since I used all matte eyeshadows up until this point, I want to add a little bit of shimmer just to give a little bit more dimension and so the eye makeup isn't completely flat. So for that, I'm going to use the Crushed Metallic Pigment in the color Pearl. It's a pale frosty pink, and I'm using the same brush and just applying it to the inner corner of my eyes of the highlight. To add subtle definition to the lash line, I'm going to use Wholesome Fluid Line. It's a matte black and brown with my 231 brush, and I'm just going to put this right in between the lash line and the waterline, just so there aren't any gaps when I apply my false lashes. If you aren't wearing false lashes, this is also a great way to make your lash line look fuller. To open up the eyes, I'm going to use Fascinating Eye Kohl. It's a matte white to line my bottom waterline. After curling my lashes, I applied Haute and Naughty True Black Lash. It's a 2-in-1 mascara where if you take off the top cap, it will remove a lot of the product, and so you'll get more of a separated, more natural look. It's great for the daytime and to apply mascara on the bottom, which is how I used it. And then if you twist off the more glittery cap, it's going to give more of a thicker, voluminous lash look. As you can see, it has a lot more product and it's going to thicken them up and add a little bit more drama. It's great for evening, so I use that on the top. And then of course I always apply false lashes, but I'm keeping them really soft and natural, really simple, so I'm going to use just one pair of number 3 lashes. For the cheeks, I'm going to use the Pearl Crushed Metallic Pigment again, but with my 217 brush, and just dust it onto the tops of my cheekbones, just for added shimmery glow. And to give it more dimension since I'm using nude colors on the cheeks. For my cheek color, I'm going to use Taupe Shape. It's a medium grade taupe, and it's a great color for when you're doing a dramatic or colorful look because it's going to add a little bit of color to the cheeks without being too noticeable and competing with the other colors. And it has a satin finish, so it's not going to look completely flat on the skin. And so I'm going to use my 138 brush and just apply it towards the back of the cheek. Since it's not really a color, I don't want to apply too much in the front, otherwise it's going to look a little bit dirty. To add a little bit of warmth to the skin, I'm going to use Definitive Sculpting Powder with my 168 brush, and I'm just going to apply a little bit right under the cheekbones. Just get a little bit more definition so my face doesn't look completely washed out. And just blend about right into the middle of the cheek. using the end of your brows as a guiding point. For your bright lipstick, you can use any shade that you like. Reds will give you a classic retro look, or you can do something a little bit different. I have two lipsticks right here from the Strength collection. The first one is Party Parrot. It's a bright pinky coral. I also have Strong Women. It's a dark purple. It's a nice vampy shade. For myself, I'm going to use pinks. I haven't used that color in a while, and I think it just adds a nice feminine look. So I have two right here. The first one is called Candy Yum Yum. It's a bright neon matte pink. This recently became permanent, so you can get this anytime. I also have a color called Pink Pigeon, which also came from the Strength collection. It's still a bright pink, but it's a little bit deeper tone, a bit more fuchsia color, so I'm going to choose this. But before I apply that, I'm going to use lip pencil. This one is called Embrace Me, and again, this is a nice bright pink. It's going to go perfectly with the lipstick, and so I'm going to outline and fill in my entire lip with it. Once my lips are lined and filled in, I'm going to apply my lipstick straight from the tube. That's it for the tutorial. I hope you like it. I hope you have fun wearing these bright lip colors for spring and summer, and that it inspires you to experiment in trying makeup looks that you see on the runway, but just making it more wearable for you. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.